The pipe going up the middle is 1/2 inch pipe, and it's set in the plastic pipe on the bottom, which you'll be able to see here, right there. And I made it so it's plumb, and at the end of the season I can actually pull that out. So that's going to be what we're doing today, is making a squirrel baffle that kicks butt. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll start by removing the old baffle. Okay, so I've taken everything off of my feeder, and right here, this is right here about 62 inches from the ground, and I put a black line on, but you really can't see it. It doesn't matter. I don't want it to be seeable later. And I'm going to pick my bird feeder up, and with that black line, I'm going to use a center punch and mark a spot for a drill. I'll continue that next. This is my center punch. I picked it up at Lowe's, and you can kind of see my black line right here. And I'm going to set the center punch right in the middle of that black line. I'm going to hit it one time with a hammer. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. Okay, now you can see the black line, and there's my little spot. I'll kind of zoom in here, you can see it a little better. All right, there. That's the center punch. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to drill a hole through the pipe all the way through. Okay, so now I have a 5/32 drill bit. I'm using it in my impact driver. It works fine. I'm going to line it up right where that little hole is, because that's where the center punch made, so it won't wander around when I drill. And I just line it up, and I'm going to drill right through there. It doesn't take too long, and I'll do the second one. Now, as you can see, I've got a hole all the way through. Now, through that hole, above the hole, I'm going to have a 7/8 inch flat washer. It can be stainless steel, it's a zinc. You won't see it in the end. And then I also have a pin. It's like a hitch pin. And this happens to be 0.148 by 2 and 15/16. It's called a hitch pin clip. It's big enough that it goes through the hole, and it's going to stick out both sides. And my washer will sit on top of that, and on top of the washer will be my stovepipe cap. I'll show you that in a moment. This is my 6-inch stovepipe cap. This is the female, so the corrugated end of black pipe will go into it. It's solid on top, but this way it will shed water. Not that it matters a whole lot, but I thought it would look neater to shed water, and that's why we're going to do it that way. This is my 24-inch long, 6-inch diameter black pipe. We're using the black pipe because we think it looks better. And as you see, one end is smooth and the other end is kind of corrugated. That end is what will fit up inside of my cap when we're all done. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cap and I'm going to drill it out using a step drill. This is a step drill, and you see it has several steps. And I marked in black marker where I stop. So I don't want to go to the black marker. I want to make it just up that size, and that's going to leave me the hole, which will be just perfect for my 1/2-inch black pipe to go through. So the step just below the black pipe is 7/8 of an inch, which is the same size as the washer. So I'm drilling a 7/8 inch hole through the cap. I'm going to do that. I mark the middle of it, and then once I have that marked, then I take my drill and I set it right in the middle of that cap, and then I drill. I'm going to hold it with my feet because it wants to spin. If you got a clamp or something to hold it, that will actually work a little better. Each time it goes through, it'll catch a little bit and then go again. Sorry about moving around. Well, I got one more. You can see it's still not quite to the black mark. So I've got one more to go, and then we'll be there. And here we go. And I think that is it. So now I have a nice round hole, 7/8 of an inch in my black cap. That's the bottom. I don't care what it looks like because we're not going to see it anyway. And the top is here. So we're going to go install all of this onto my bird feeder pole. So now we're here at the bottom of the pole, and as you can see, I'm going to pick up the pole. I'm going to slide first I slide the cap over with the open end down. Flat side is up, open end is down. After that, we slide the washer, which is right here, and we slide that all the way up past the hole that we drilled earlier, which is about 62 inches from the ground. You're in underneath of it. The washer probably isn't necessary, but I like to be on the safe side. And then I take my hitch pin clip, which is right here, and I just push it right through that hole. The reason I do this way is that way I don't have to put any screws in it. As you can see, it goes all the way through, just like that. The washer will rest on that, cap rests on top of the washer, and we're ready to put it back into the ground. So we'll go ahead and do that real quickly. Cap here, and I'm going to put my pipe on it. Now the pipe comes unassembled, I would say, so you have to kind of work to put it together.
Wait.
Go. This is my 6-inch by 24-inch black pipe, and you see it's not put together. Are you close enough to see this? But basically you start at one end and you just try to kind of push it in a little bit. You have to push it down, it'll go a little bit out around when you start, but it kind of slips in. Of course, when you're videoing, it never works the first time. So anyway, I keep going and I hit, and now as you can see, the seams are all good all the way through. I'm a little bit longer right here, and what I can do is tap the one end down, not with an open hand, but with a hammer or a board. So I will show you how I do that. So I try to line it up as best you can as you go. But now it's even here. If I look at the other end, it's also even right here. So now what we're going to take this back. We're going to install it.
Go.
So here we have our bird feeder, emptied the bird stuff off with our cap set in the ground. So I'm going to pull it up out of the ground, set my pipe over the hole, and then just drop the pipe back in. So now my pipe is ready to be installed in the cap. I'm a little out of round, so I'm just going to squeeze a little bit, and then I'm going to slide it right up into the cap. And I'll have to work it around a little bit. But once I do, I've got it worked in completely like that. And I want to make it stay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a screw right here and one on the other side, and I'll show you how I do that in a moment. So what I'm going to do now is right next to where the old stuff was, I'm going to drill a little hole right there, and what that hole is, it's a little bit bigger than the sheet metal screw, but then I won't lose my sheet metal screw. Right? Messy. Much easier to drill if you're not holding a camera. So now I have a drill going through. It's going to hold the pipe in completely. You can turn it around. Same thing here. What's nice, if a squirrel jumps up on this, they can't get a hold of it, and it'll move around and they can't go. If they try to crawl up inside, let them do it, because on the top the hole is 7/8 of an inch, so they can't come through. So that's the squirrel baffle. The top of it is 52 inches off the ground. The bottom of it is 24 inches less than that. So about 28 inches, or 38 inches. 62 inches off the ground, sorry. And 24-inch baffle, 38 inches off the ground. The squirrel can jump probably this high, but he can't catch here. If he can't catch there, he can't get on top, and the bird feeders will be safe. And that's how I make a squirrel baffle